testing the mic test. Yes. Almost ready, y'all. Let's do this. I'll turn back on the music for a second. It's crazy because the mic says it's muted here in the in OBS, but it's working. I gotta grab something. Blame it on Mercury retrograde. I don't let those dang old planets dictate my life no more. They're just lights in the sky. What's up, Cassie? Alright, I got the mech I need to film. I got a mech I need to film. We may need to clean this desk a little bit. Alright, let's kick on in here. Latency test. 1, 2, 3. Like a 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Just planning, got lease sign, electric water turned on yesterday, aiming to start moving soon. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Very exciting. Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to another live stream right here on Country Fried Minis. I'm your host Cameron, the country boy in the big city, presenting once more from the Bullshit Corner 2.0. And today we have some upgrades. I have invested in a Hovercam Solo 8 desk cam. So now we have 4 cameras. We got the Brio up on the shoulder now. We got the old, I think this is a Wan's View is the name on it. Yeah, Wan's View shooting at the desk over here. We got the face cam. So I'm really excited to see that. Enjoy your game today. Enjoy your game today, live day, and YouTube closed for no fucking reason. Man, this app. Just wait on it to respond. Come on, phone. What the fuck? My chat monitor is my old BlackBerry, and it is very much not working. It's just like a white screen. Holy moly. I was trying to read chat and the app just closed itself. YouTube's app is trash garbage. Trash garbage. You know, it is really good at feeding you ads though. Okay, is this gonna focus? How long is that delay? It's like... Alright, so now chat's not loading. Now chat's loading. Holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? Let's turn it off of top messages, which I never want. Yes. Slink says bibbity bobbity boobs. Yes. Okay. What the fuck was I saying? I got so sidetracked by this app closing itself. We got cameras. We got new cameras. I'm hoping this thing is gonna work. I think the cutting mat is still a problem. I think the textures and stuff on this mat is what's causing a lot of my autofocus issues. So we'll look into replacing that eventually. You know, they're all very expensive, and they all kind of suck for filming, as far as I can find. I think it may be a matter of like going to the art store and looking around at what's on the shelf rather than trying to find a good one online. What I really want is a nice dark, like black one with a good subtle pattern on it. Something in gray. I've actually been looking around to try and get a custom one printed, but I can't really seem to find any producers that will do it, that have clear pricing plans listed. I found one that is one of those like get a quote, call to get a quote type setups, which means impossibly high price. But digressing, we're gonna make do with what we got here for now, and the plan today is to dive into my current commission, which is for some construction mechs. I was really elated when that came through on the Fiverr. Check out fiverr.com/Thurston Studios, link in the description down below. If you want your own commission, reasonable prices, streamed live, of course. And we're going to dig in today on a set of construction mechs. So we've got a good little set here. I am a little worried about the sizing on this Raider. It's really small. We may have to reprint that mech, actually. Let's see what the size is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a 50 tonner. And it's really, really tiny. So we're probably going to have to reprint this model. It's like half the size it should be. Let's check the power man. I really regret not checking this a little better beforehand, but even if we got a pivot, I think we're still doing all right. The power man's may be correct. Let's take a peek. Power man is a 35 tonner, so it's okay to be a little small. And it looks like it's about the height of our dragon here. So we're going to go ahead and go forward with these Power Man. We're not going to use this Raider. Mr. Fear the Ham has some stuff to learn about sculpting. This sculpt was full of problems. I spent an entire day correcting the problems, and then I print it out, and it is tiny, tiny, tiny. Like way tiny. So we're not going to work on that today, but we are going to work on the Power Men and our forestry mech. Dude, this... One second. I find it remarkable that So I've been growing my hair for like 6 years now, and no matter what length it is, there is always a strand that is like looping back and touching me in the face. Time to slick it back with some goop. Yeah. There's always something like looping and touching my forehead right here, making tickly feelings. Okay, so we've already got a pivot. I see a few problems actually. So our power man here has a bit of a problem here. Is this camera not gonna focus? I need you to focus, camera. Please focus. I bought this camera specifically for focusing on close-up things. Jesus fucking Christ. I cannot win with these fucking cameras. All webcams suck for miniature work. Every single one of them. There's no such thing as a good camera unless you buy a fucking a mirrorless, I suppose. Please focus on the goddamn model. Focus. Focus, please. Focus on the fucking model. Focus. Focus. Okay. Jesus Christ. I set all this up last night, y'all, I promise. I spent like an hour setting it up. Evidently that was insufficient because it's still not doing the thing. Okay, so how do I lock this fucking focus? Let's lock the focus so it'll actually, you know, do what I'm telling it to. Autofocus. Is it gonna stay focused now? Can I move the thing around? Can we zoom in? Okay. So, our model here is not, it's literally just not gonna focus at fucking all. Welcome to the stream where we spend 2 hours trying to get a camera to focus. Focus on the thing. For fuck's sake, focus on the thing. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? Focus on the thing. I kind of want to just unplug it and go back to the old setup since it absolutely refuses to focus. Okay, hopefully it's locked now. I have it on the no autofocus. Okay, what the fuck am I even trying to say? So this part has way too narrow of a rim right here, and it is broken on the print. So we're gonna trim that off to begin. Just gonna completely get rid of it. I find it pretty remarkable that as I'm learning more and more about sculpting, I see many problems with many things. Hands always fuck up the autofocus. Black background? Yeah, I've been looking for a cutting mat that's black, but I swear they just don't fucking exist. I find it really frustrating. They either don't exist or they have like a whole bunch of patterning that goes above and beyond. So I've been looking to try and get one custom printed, and I can't find a producer that will list a price. It's been a big struggle. They all have the call for pricing or email for quote, which means they're going to want 600 ordered, and they're going to want to charge an arm and a leg for it. Hands fuck up the autofocus. Yeah. I mean, the solution is very obviously just to invest in... It's time to invest in a mirrorless camera and set it up like here, aiming over the shoulder. Problem is, a mirrorless camera is like $600. So that is a little bit prohibitively expensive. Even compared to like something like this Brio, which was $199. And unfortunately, that is also really bad at getting results. What's crazy is I was watching another streamer, Mishmash, who got me convinced to pick this thing up because it was working really well on their stream. And I think it's kind of half-ass all right, as long as we adjust it in the Logi software instead of its own setup. Anyhow, let's get the mind back to the task at hand today. So today we're gonna be assembling these mechs, hitting them with some base coats, probably hitting these mechs with some contrast paint, and starting in on the initial coloration. I was going to be painting the Raider as well, but Mr. Fear the Ham has not done the due diligence in model here, so this thing is disappointingly tiny. That's what she said. About half the size it should be, especially considering that this thing is based on a WizKids Mini, which are really, really big. You know, it really leads me to believe that the artist probably did not print this out after sculpting it to find the problems. So we're gonna size that one up probably like 30 to 50% and print another one. I'll probably be back Friday to work on it some more. I am digging the multi-angle, multi-window look. Oh, dude, I was so excited when I plugged in the new desk cam and like it didn't interfere with the Brio at all. I really would add one more camera if I could, but it might get a little too cluttered at that point. This thing up here seems to work so much better if you give it a little distance. And then this guy, you know, it's kind of low quality, so capturing all this is fun enough. Okay, so I think agenda for today is to get the power men assembled and based. And then we're going to get the forestry mech going. And I'm also going to film a short of unboxing this thing. So I think that may be first on our agenda here. I got my tripod. Let's go ahead and film that up. I think tomorrow's short will be about something like, hey, consider buying mechs that you usually wouldn't throw in your forces. Buy a model to paint for fun. Get something silly like a forestry mech with a giant chainsaw. Something like that. So let's do that first. Get like a minute of footage of cracking it open. We're gonna rub on it for the short. All right, let's get this camera on. Yes, we want SD card. I do think we maybe need to change up this backdrop a little bit here by maybe picking up those mechs that have been in all the shorts so far. We're gonna relocate these to the table temporarily. I still have my table set up from a BattleTech game, so it will just become a convenient catch-all for now. Let's get these Derek's Devils over there and out of the shot. Not that there's any problem with them being there, but they've been in the background of 3 out of 4 of the last few days were the shorts. So I really want to clear that out. Just change it up a bit, you know? Let's put the acetone there. Create a little visual difference between the shots. Maybe even this painting handle. There we go. Okay.
The forestry mech be sawing logs, splitting buns and stacking slaw dogs in the fog dog.
So good. Oh man, Attenborough is really the good ones. Have you seen the that you can get the AIs to talk in different languages? I think that's kind of fun. And speaking of, we've got a couple more slots for voices, so I think it's time to train a few more. Okay, so let's pop into Pro Video. It looks like our shutter speed is all right. Got it at 1/125th. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. So let's hit record. We're going to show this to the camera. We're going to show the back of this to the camera, and we're going to crack into it. And we're going to fail to get it open, so we're going to cut it open. I'm going to worm my finger in there. And I think what we want to illustrate here is that we have our happy little mech. Happy little mech in multiple parts. Him's got his backpack. Him's got his claw. But then we have two options here. We have the mod version with the cannon arm, and then we've got the claw arm with the grabby fingies. So this is a interesting example of a kit from Ironwind Metals where you get multiple options, which is very unusual, but fucking cool. So if you wanted to like put the effort in and magnetize it or use the extra bits for something else, that is definitely an option. I think it'll be a ton of fun to fuck with. All right, so we got a minute and 20 seconds of footage there. I may assemble it and then shoot a second shot. So to work on this lad, we're going to is this auto exposure better? Maybe we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna cut into it. I think we may remove the built-in base. We either have to remove the built-in base or we have to build up some terrain on the new base here. I'm not really sure what's going to be our best approach. 2004 WizKids says. Let's cut that base. Let's cut the base off. The integrated bases are great in that, like, they're an option for not needing to put them on new bases, but I just don't think that's what we're doing here. We're gonna get all these on matching bases. So get some cutting wheels ready. Oh, and these are all fucked up. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Alright. Okay. So we're gonna get out the Dremel, and I hope it's charged enough. We may be stuck charging it while we work on some other stuff. We're gonna set up some cutting wheels and remove this pewter base. Should be fun. And then I guess we'll film that as part of the short, and then we'll show the whole thing assembled as well, right at the very end. And if our Dremel is too dead, then we will move on to a different task, like assembling and priming the power mans. Alright, one cutting wheel. And let's get cutting wheel number 2 set up. Because you know I'm invariably going to break one like right away. We'll probably go through like 4 of these. Knowing my luck. I'm pretty sure one of these shafts is like a little bit off and gets some wobble to it. Okay. Let's move those. Let's move these. Let's get out our power tool.
Technortian asked me, why are you obsessed with frogs? You talk about them all the time and even sneak them into conversation. Konnichiwa? Origatod? Oh, sugar. I'm not obsessed with frogs. I'm just hopping along with some amphibious fun.
Oh, sugar.
I reckon it's just a riveting way to sprinkle in some cheekiness during our chat. I promise I won't leap into too many frog references, but sometimes I can't help myself when I'm painting and thinking about all sorts of critters. Ain't nothing wrong with a little froggy fun, right?
Froggy fun? What the fuck is froggity fun? Okay, speaking of frog, I gotta show you this. Ooh, that white balance is really... Let's fix that right away. This thing is still, needs to be cleaned up, but this is the, this is that Bogbubil's statue that I just got, and it is fucking big. He did try. He did try indeed. Check this out. This is from that Dark Platypus Studios. It is still nasty with resin. But we're talking 2.5 inch statue. Get some really nice surface detailing, and I bet you could hit this with like the Dremel and knock some bits out of it and get an even more stony look. That needs to be processed though. It is still very yucky. I kind of was fucking with it in a hurry. Looks way better printed out. Yeah, it's surprising. Like when you look at those models in the on the website, they look all funky, but then it's really easy to lose track of a sense of scale with these models. Like, so I was fucking with this Raider model, correcting a bunch of problems on it in the geometry for like 7 hours yesterday, and then I go to print it out, and it's absolutely it's tiny. It's so fucking tiny. Okay, so where is our focus? Focus is kind of close to the desk, So we're gonna work from here while I cut this thing down. Let's get part 2 of this short. We're gonna dig out our Pro Video setting once more. And we're gonna hit go. We're gonna show this to the camera. We're gonna point out that the base is problematic. We're gonna show the camera our Dremel 7300 and our cutting wheel. And we're gonna get in here and start immediately having problems. We're just gonna score the metal. Is that coming through the mic, by the way? Is that coming through the mic? No, not at all. Okay. This thing is getting hot. This cutting wheel sucks. Woo, it's getting warm. It's getting quite warm. Let's cool it off some. Yeah, I don't think this was the right tool for the job, actually. Sorry I'm late. All these beautiful women kept throwing themselves at me. Yes. Hell yeah. Can't argue with that. Oh god, that scared me. I saw that particle fly off and I thought for sure that was particulate flying at my face. Okay, this cutting wheel is not fucking cutting. Maybe it just doesn't have the RPM to do the thing. It's also already dying. So I don't know what to do here. If we could just get through it, we could maybe snap this bit off. This is way tougher than it has any right to be. Can we get in there and actually snip it yet? Not quite. Not quite. All right, we'll do this again when the fucking battery charges up some. I can't believe that cutting wheel is doing basically nothing. It's probably because it's a super soft metal. Should I use a more believable lie? No, I think you could tie that back into like something with printed minis or something. Okay, so let's pivot since that was not working. We do have some footage of it though. We'll get this thing charging, which is not charging. Please charge battery. What's the problem? Okay, green light, I need you to start flashing. What's the fucking problem here? Is it not getting good contact? Must not have been. Okay. So I think in the meantime what we'll do is instead pivot to cleaning these guys up. Where's my Brio software? It closed itself. Is there not like a brightness control? There we go. It's made it hella washed out though. I need like a step in between these two steps. Yeah. We come here and then crank the brightness down. Okay. So the plan now is to clean these up, get these assembled, and hopefully by then we'll be ready to prime or get this thing cut so we can assemble it and prime it as well. Ideally by the end of the stream I'd like to have yellow on these construction mechs. What do we need here? Need a little bit of filing, I think. A little bit of filing on the back of this Power Man. It's got some support scarring. Got a little bit of support scarring that needs to get brought down. Doesn't seem like there's any way to avoid that, unfortunately. Maybe like a higher definition resin or higher definition screen for curing the resin. I'm definitely seeing some of my sculpted details are way too small. So we'll consider that some lessons learned in the sculpting department. But for the most part, that looks okay. Blueprint Studio does a really good job of like minimizing the damage from the supports. I mean, obviously you're always going to have some, but it's really good. Alright, and then this thing is going to get a crate on its back here. Shipping container-ish thing. This would be better to go back to autofocus, maybe? Okay. Fun little models. So what I understand about the Power Man is it's kind of this little bit of an inside joke over on the Locust Labs Discord server. Which of course I do not get at all, but it is a fabulous little lad. And we're gonna roll with that. Alright. I think this one basically has no damage. Wow, the supports are really good. Looks like they were mostly concentrated on the soles of the feet. So that's awesome. It's funny, with Locust Labs prints, I usually use the pre-supports, but this one did not have pre-supports. Where's my glue? There it is. Okie day. Let's get this thing assembled. Alright, I have the autofocus off. I thought. Is it like, do I have to actually adjust it before it locks? Yeah, I think that's the case. Okay, so let's get our first Power Man together. This one wants like a little bit of a tilt. I think that'll do. Yes, fingers, just let go. That would be really cool. Okay. Hit that with a little insta-set, and that should be locked in there now. Let that go for a moment. Let's get the other one assembled. And I think his peg hole is maybe a little bit chamfered, which could prove to be problematic. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna file this edge. Get a nice little bevel all the way around. That way, it's got a little wiggle room. It should sit nicely. I think maybe even hobby knife is the way. We're just gonna go around at a good angle. Till we have a nice little bevel. Nice little bevel on that. And then any kind of gap that's created by this angle will be filled with our extra thick super glue. Those Tootsie smooth. Got a few contact points here on the side of the foot we can bring down. But otherwise, that's looking awesome. And that's Blueprint Studio for the supports. I'll probably release a short talking about this soon. Power Man, yeah. Yeah, I had a little issue with this thing, the connection port. On this other one, I had bad orientation, but the Holler Mech variant came out all right. I think I went a little too hard with the greebling on here, and I diverged from your design language a little too much, I think, with the square arm versus the round arm. But I don't think anyone will notice in the end. Yep, client wants 2 Power Man, 1 Laser Mod, 1 Holler Mech. And, you know, it's such a good excuse to paint this thing up. I think I went with the wrong legs for these. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna go Caterpillar yellow with these too. I'm so excited to actually paint them up. You know, it's funny, working on the alternate arm for this thing has convinced me that I can actually do sculpting, which is maybe dangerous, but I think it set in motion a path of sculpting industrial mechs. Ain't nobody got models for them. Super exciting. And I don't know, the industrial detailing seems pretty easy to accomplish in Blender. All right, so those are good. The client wants blank bases, so we've printed out these here. I don't think I have any catalyst bases handy, do I? These are roughly the same angle as a catalyst base bevel. No, I don't have any ready. So they should blend in nicely with the other order that the client put in. I actually think the square arm shoulders look very cool. I did keep the this bit ready to go, and you can't really see it here. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh shit, the camera broke. Well, you can see it there while I unplug and fix this, but there's I went with the classic like X detail, and then there's a few little greebly bits that kind of wrap around it. All right, let's get this camera fixed. I have found that if you fuck with this thing too fast, it's like it gets overwhelmed. Messing with the zoom. But yeah, it's got a nice little greebly bit that runs across the top. I wanted to hide my crimes here. I started with the sphere on the inside here, and then put this band connection across the top, and then just kind of hid my crimes with the shoulder pad. And honestly, it's a little bit in the same vein as the Raider here with the square shoulders, a little bit Whiz Kids. So I think it works out. You know, I ought to post this this mod over on your Discord. It needs a little work though. All right, where's our camera controls? Let's maybe come out just a bit, like there. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, so we're gonna get these on a base. I don't really know what to do about this boy. We could maybe start just trying to nip it out. Maybe those carbide tools are where it's at instead of the cutting wheel. And either way, we'll juggle back and forth, working on these power men versus working on the forestry mech. I've got to wonder what the client's working on these for. He's chosen mostly non-military versions. Even the forestry mech is the logging version and not the militarized one. But regardless, I'm super excited to work with these. It's just like the type of project that's just fun to do. Instead of like kind of aimed at, oh, I'm building this force for a game. This is more like I get to play with basically civilian models. All right, get those in place. He's a little off center, isn't it? Still. Let's give that one more attempt. A little bit more to this side here, I think. Trying to balance, like, getting the front facing in a good direction, but also keeping the kind of the weight of the model centered. Both physically and visually. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's lock that in because it's a little unstable. Bink, bonk, And we'll lock this other one in as well. All right. I think we may need to go ahead and prime these, because this is just not ready, I don't think. What do we got cutter-wise? What do we got cutter-wise? I wonder if something like this bit will do the trick. Something a little more aggressive. And let's get out that thing as well. Oh, you know what? I think this is our trick right here, isn't it? I think that's the trick. Yeah, let's give that a go. Surely that'll do better than these cutting wheels, because this thing just like jammed up with pewter immediately. Let's run it. Let's run it. Let's film some more shit. I sure hope this works. This, whatever this pewter is that Ironwind Metals is using seems to be way tougher than it has any right to be. Which bodes well. Just not for base removal. Okay. Let's hit pass 2 on the Dremel. Let's film a little bit more. If nothing else, this will be a decent little talking point during the short. Get this back out. Let's get these tools in the shot. And then show this thing to the camera again. Pull this new wheel out and get at it. It seems to be working a little better. It is getting quite hot. Quite hot. Let's douse it again. Let's douse it again and get back in it. How about you bite and fucking... I think that's all we get. This thing just runs out of juice so fucking fast. Jesus fucking Christ. Definitely the downside of a battery-powered Dremel. You get about 4 seconds of cut time. absolutely ridiculous. Come on, dude. There's like 1 millimeter left. The fuck, dude? You gotta give me 15 more seconds, battery. Holy shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking bullshit. Alright, let's wait another 2 hours to get another 4 minutes of charge. Feels like a battery out of 1992. Can we actually snip this bitch now? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just need that tab clear. Alright, we got the tab clear. We can start working on it. I think maybe we can cut this down without the Dremel now. Maybe I'll do a whole bit in there talking about why battery powered tools actually suck. Of course, now I also need the sanding drum and a charged Dremel to get those pieces off. You know, there may be something wrong with this battery too, because it is just not charging. It's like it's not getting contact. There it goes. There it goes. Let's see if we can't start nipping this down manually. Got to be very careful about this. I don't want to lose any detail. And the problem is the client wants plain bases. So we don't have any wiggle room as far as like we can't bury the detail underneath anything. It's all gonna be sitting on the top of a plain black base. So we have to remove all this material. Very carefully. And you know, it's funny, a fucking a power tool would make this really easy right about now. But you know what, y'all? I did not charge it overnight. I forgot all about it as part of it. However, we're pretty close and might be able to sand this thing down manually if I have some really aggressive high grit stuff. Or not high grit, low grit. Same thing. Same thing. Exactly the same thing. High grit, low grit, what's the fucking difference? Let's get... I think I got a sheet of like 300 in here. That looks really aggressive. 120 grit? That might be the ticket right there. Yeah, 120 is probably the most coarse sheet I got. So let's film this as well. Let's film this as well. We shall show to the camera this thing again. We got the feet's cut way down. We're going to show our 120 grit. And we're going to do maybe even a little bit of wet sanding on it, just to keep it cool. and we're just gonna start going to town. I can see that material is being removed. Probably should, I don't know, give this about a minute, and then we'll see how much progress we're making and if it's worth continuing to do. Giving it a nice, what is this, wax off? Which is which? Wax on is clockwise, wax off is counterclockwise. Alright. Is that making any significant progress? Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Let's get real aggressive with it. Put some real pressure on it. Is that working? Just out. I mean, obviously a power tool would be doing so much more, but we don't have that luxury at the moment. So I think what we can do is pause this. We will sideline that for just a moment, and we can do the like the mold line removal on the parts, and that way we have something positive, something forward, momentum moving, forwardly moving. I don't know words. But first, let's save all our little computer offcuts and toss them. Got a little baggie of computer bits. Let's get in here and start cleaning up mold lines. Which of course are everywhere. And this model is pretty good for the mold lines, it looks like. Looks okay. I'm not displeased with the what we're seeing here. Just give these bits a little bit of love. Happy little scraping. Maybe even a file is where it's at. Use our finer file here so it doesn't scratch the surface too much. Though I think the primer will go a long way in. Y'all, I have no fucking clue why trying to talk on stream fills my throat with phlegm, but it makes it very hard to continue talking sometimes. It's frustrating, to say the least. Okay. A little bit of progress here. These look like they're going to be kind of tough to remove. We maybe need to make a tool for this. Unless the hobby knife here will do the trick. I don't want to gouge it too bad. We got like maybe we can use the flat of this file here to get in there. Yeah, I think that'll do it. And we'll do the same right here, I think. Just give that a little bit of love. I think, you know, those lines will be mostly hidden, so not too much of a concern, but I do want to do it right and get rid of them. Now this one has a peg, so we're gonna have to get in there with the hobby blade. And this is a fairly new blade, quite sharp. Not brand new, but still quite sharp. So I'm a little reticent to get my thumb in there. All right, that's okay. Let's hit this side too. Let's hit this side as well. Just want to gently rub against it. Till it kind of starts to yield. It's soft enough that we can cut right into it. All right. I think that's acceptable for this part. Those sides are pretty minimized. Oh, that one's pretty rough, actually. Uh-oh. Camera froze again. All right, this is not good. This camera may be garbage. Maybe garbage. May actually be garbage. Broke time? I know the answer's all the boogers you eat before you go live. I don't understand. I can sit in voice chat on the CFM Discord for literally 12 hours talking nonstop without any phlegm problems. But something about trying to do it on stream creates this like intense annoyance and seizing phlegm in my throat. It's really cool. It's really cool. Right, so oh, we left out the back right here on that side. Also, hello, Mr. Another Nate. Hope you're doing well. I meant to send you a collaboration link for yesterday's short, and I realized I copied it to the clipboard and never actually sent it. I'd suspect the software before blaming the camera itself. It's not actually coming through the software. It's coming directly through OBS. I think it may, you know, it may be a matter of Jesus Christ. For fuck's sake, dude. It's just like, what's with the phlegm? Feels like glue. Feels like I've inhaled super glue directly onto my vocal cords. I don't even remember what I was saying. I think the camera itself maybe wants to use its proprietary software rather than being controlled by OBS, maybe. But it may have issues with focus and stuff, but man, I can really get in on those tiny parts, and I think that's worth something. I think it's working. We're just gonna have to go through annoyances and hurdles. That's just the name of the game around here. Grab some citrus water. I don't know what it is. Mr. Voxel Forge. I think it has to do with what's the stress hormone? Cortisol. I could see it having to do with cortisol. I'm like the type of person to get really, really itchy skin when I get annoyed at shit. And I think maybe on some level, the like subconscious drive to not have dead air creates this seizing sensation in my throat through the same hormonal action. And just guessing, of course. Oh, nice. Nightbot coming through with the first redeem. We once had fun redeems. Now, Popcat only pops when Nightbot do it. Shit, what's the chat rate on that? What is the chat rate on Nightbot?
I do.
Give me 10.
Okay.
Come on. She can go on forever.
You know, and I'm not going to go too far down this route of talking about dead streams here, but I do want to point out that Nightbot starts her timer when the chat average rate hits 1 message per minute. So if that tells you how absolutely dead streams have been. And I have noticed that it is everywhere. Not that streams are completely dead, but like stream numbers are down everywhere on YouTube. I just don't think it's focusing that type of content anymore. Not so much, at least. I notice it on some of the content I view, even like really big channels have had huge number drops. YouTube wants you watching shorts now, unfortunately. AI's polluting everything? Yep, it really is. It's destroying the creative space. Now, I do think I have this theory about AI that I think in the short term, AI slop is going to put a lot of artists out of work, or like push certain types of art into more of a hobby space in the short term. I think it's going to cause a lot of harm, and it's going to push mediocre artists, a lot of mediocre artists and low grade professional artists into this realm of like what's the term I'm looking here? Non-viability. Like they're going to be forced to look elsewhere for employment. But I do think in the long run, I think AI slop will create a kind of drive in the zeitgeist to return to mastery, to return to high quality handmade stuff. It'll bring back an appreciation for high-end art. I'm really excited to see where it is in 5 years' time. Not that I don't think AI tools are like really fucking neat and have a valid point in society, but I do think it's funny that like the proper trajectory of the AI and the automation, the whole idea is to do the menial labor so that we can do the creative stuff. If that makes any sense, right? Like you want the robots doing the factory jobs, and you want the automated crap doing the menial repetitive tasks to free up people to be poets and artists and all that stuff. And instead we have the exact opposite going on. The powers that be are driving AI to do the creative stuff and forcing people to do the menial labor. We're living in bizarro land. A renaissance of the renaissance. Yeah, exactly. I saw a guy 3D print slop for Gothic, kind of awful. Yeah. Yep, it's... well, shit, you can see how bad it is, if you go to... I think it's Cults has a filter to remove AI from your search results. There's been a few times where I've gotten a file and gotten all excited about it, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. And then I download the thing and start inspecting the mesh and see the back of it where it's generated from a fucking piece of AI software. It's really disheartening. Yeah, it's an interesting direction. I actually had planned on, if I had continued on for my master's, my planned thesis was on AI art and its place in the discussion of artistic canonicity. But I did stop at the bachelor's. I got so burnt out with school. School sucks, man. It sucks so bad. This is such a shitty pose for this arm. I guess we'll just have to have it out like that. I'm also wondering if I need to pin this thing. I think maybe I do need to pin it. Yeah, let's pin this arm. Let's pin this arm. We're gonna remove this nub right here. Hopefully not slice myself with this super sharp knife. All right, we're gonna start a little pilot hole right there. Where are we at? We're an hour and 20 in. I'm aiming for a good 3, maybe 4 hours today. Really want to get some progress in on these. I definitely want the power men at least yellow. At the bare fucking minimum. We need some paint on them by the end of the stream. That's what we need. Oh shit. Let's get our tool together right here. And then start drilling in right here. No, it's this side. And we're just gonna, I don't know how deep we want to go. I maybe need to make a better pilot hole here. Use the tip of this sculpting tool here to really get in there and create a point where our drill bit can get a little purchase. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, camera's dead again. Thanks, camera. Why don't you die again? You know, it might actually just be this camera. Because I noticed that Mishmash's camera would also freeze up. Alright, so how do we fix this? We come in here, and we deactivate, and we reactivate, and we flip it back around. And then we reset the focus. Nope, focus stayed locked. Sick. Did it stay locked? Where's it at? It's about right there. Okay. This drill hole walked so far from the initial point. I think we're gonna have to start that over. Yeah, I don't... How the fuck did it get so far off center? That's insane. Let's be right here. Let's try to make an actual, like, functional divot there. Watching it very carefully to make sure it doesn't walk. Okay. Our battery is still charging. I see the flashing light up there. Wasn't the second Renaissance when the machine took over in the Matrix? Oh, that's a good point. We're just about there. We got a few years yet. Once the like super AI decides to trying to get this camera where it's not the top of my head the whole fucking time. How's that? It's still just the top of my head and my face. about up there? Is that any better? It's a little better, maybe. Yeah. When is the machine to take a... God damn, it's still walked. It's still walked so far to the... Here, I'm gonna drill this sideways and see if we can't force it back the other way again. Fucking bonkers. How centered is that? It's still walked so far from where I put it in at. Let's get in here and actually just carve it out. It's steady walking away from where I have it stuck in. Steady walking. All right. I know y'all can't see what's happening here, but if I don't hold it at this angle, I can't get it to go in the hole I'm trying to aim it in. Alright, starting to get some purchase. Need it a little deeper so that a pen will work here. It's going to be a really loose fit, unfortunately, because of how much we mangled that fucking hole. We could maybe compensate with a little bit of baking soda, I think. Let's get a nice pen. Let's use standard paper clips for this. Alright, that does seem fairly secure though. Okay, I'm alright with that. Can we fit that much of a pin into this though? Not really, we're gonna have to nip off a little bit more. We could actually just push this hole a little bit, make it a little more secure, I think. And then we'll do the same on the arm here. And you know what? We may be able to just start to bite into it with the divot that's already there. Could be a hard spot where the alloy isn't perfectly mixed. No alloy is homogeneous. Yeah, that's possible. It may also be an artifact of the hand drilling motion. I'm sure that the action and position of my hand is creating a bias in a certain direction. Let's see, how deep is that? We have probably another 2 millimeters that we can go safely here. See there. I'm going to push it about another millimeter. All right. Where's our pin? There's our pin here. Let's reseat it. Reseat that pin. And press this home. There we go. How deep are we? Oh, we gotta take off a little bit. I am really afraid to push it any further. I think we could get another millimeter out of this, and then we'll snip off a little bit as well. One more mil. Not a mil. Millimeter. Mil is different, right? What is a mil? Is like 1,000? Or it's less than 1,000. A thou is 1,000, isn't it? Let's see. Okay. I think we can maybe shave a little bit off the tip of this here. So we're going to get out our hardened steel tool again. Remove just a bit. And now we have this new like flat sharp tip. And I think we're going to push that in here. We're going to push that in, and that'll actually like bite into the metal in theory. Like once we got it nice and seated. Should give us some really good purchase. And then we're just going to really mash these together to get that pen to do its thing. All right, and I think actually we want a little bit of the extra thin. So let's get out just a little bit of that. And then I should have some toothpicks. A mil is 0.1 millimeter. A millionth of an inch can't be measured without counting atoms. Yeah, that makes sense. So the idea here with these toothpicks is I've got to dip it enough to where the tip kind of gets a coating of glue on it. And then once we have that, we should be able to pick up a little bit of the glue here and get it to go with capillary action. I want the capillary action to get a little bit of the glue deeper in there than we would with the gel. Should eventually pick up enough to flow in there. There we go. All right, set that over here. And now we can take our thicker glue. And I'm just gonna put a big old blob right on the end of that pen. Kind of get it to flow where we want it. It didn't actually flow where we wanted. That hole actually drank up all that gel, so now we need to put a little bit on both ends. There we go. And now we'll get a really, really strong bond. I mean, it's already gripping, despite it being on metal, which is kind of crazy. But we'll hit a little bit of this, and it'll cure that swiftly. All right, next, I want to get this backpack on. And I think to give it the best chance of working, we're gonna take this smooth area and we're gonna score it a little bit. Score it with the hobby knife, so we have these rough patches here, and they're gonna create surface irregularities that super glue will bond to a little better than just a flat surface. I know there's like a surface texture because it's metal already, but that's now like really nice and rough. We're gonna do the same here, and this has kind of an up-down bias, so now we're gonna come in here and do like a left-right bias to our switches. And that should create a nice bonding surface. And even our little peg here, I'm gonna put some marks on that too. Just get it nice and roughed up. Metal can catalyze super glue. Nothing but ions. Interesting. You know, there's also the whole I have been handling the hell out of these models, and skin oil is really good at kicking off super glue as well. So we should have a really nice bond there, though it's feeling a little slippy. So I want to make sure we get some glue on the back of that head too. There we go. There we go. And hopefully by the time we're done assembling this, our battery will be charged up enough to get this thing together, and then we'll hit this with some metal primer R, and then we should be able to prime these boys. I'm really hoping that we'll get some paint on these within the next 30 minutes. Oh shit, that broke. And I dropped it and broke the other side. Sunny beaches. What's the solution here to make this a little more stable? Does this need a pin as well? I really don't want to pin this section. Is this a baking soda situation? I think this may be a baking soda application. But for one, let's get in here and create some surface slashes on that nubbin. Yeah. Same on this side. Let's lift that cured glue off. Let's create some surface scoring. There we go. And then you need maybe just a nice little zip and a zap inside there. Same here. Give it a little zip, little zap. Let's get my baking soda out. Key the surface. Do I have a tool for this? I wonder if this sculpting end will work. Let's see, do I got a little dish I can use for this? This will work. Oh, that's fucking gross. That will not work. Where do we put some of this stuff to grab from? Maybe the lid to this this thing. Come on. There we go. It's more than enough. Now, I gotta be really careful in doing this, because I don't want it to, I do not want it to make a big old mess. I have discovered that this stuff can leave a undesirable texture, so we want to kind of avoid that. Let's maybe a little more glue. We need enough where it's going to kind of blob around. It's this one. Get that in position. And then get that. The baking soda should set, and not only does it instantly catalyze the reaction, but it helps it to create like a cement type bond. Would be the industry easy way to search. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we also want to remove any residual baking soda here. These fan brushes that come in the Princeton sets are really, really good for that. Clean and dust off the models. Okay, so same deal. I want like a fucking fat dollop there. Not enough to make a big mess and like have some ugly blobbing, but enough that it's like enough that we have like a little bit of glue kind of poking around those edges. Hey, Nightbot, calling for a popcat. You know, it's funny that the flip side of what I was lamenting about the popcat, Nightbot taking so long to get in here, is that Nightbot's got in here now. It's not completely dead. Okay, so this is really not, that hole is not great. So I think we're actually gonna pick a drill bit that kind of is the same size. This is a 2mm. Let's see how that fits. Yeah, that's gonna do nicely. We're gonna dig out this hole a little bit instead of a pin here. Oh, who am I kidding? We should do a pin here. If it's worth doing, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do a pin. Alright, so first we're gonna get rid of that peg. Get rid of that peg. And we're gonna start a keyhole for our pin. I should have done this first. Hopefully we can do this without breaking those tips off. I think maybe if I hold it from this angle. But let's try to be really careful and keep our drill bit from walking. And once it starts to get purchase, once it starts to get a little bit of purchase, we'll slip out of the hole, and it's already walking. Yeah, it's just this drill bit wants to walk. Does not go where you tell it to. Not without like a substantial pilot hole. So let's make that pilot hole. It's got to be deep enough that the drill bit can go in there and mush the material and bite in and not walk. I think we got it. I think we got it. All right, yes, sick. We're gonna push this pretty deep. This arm's a little straighter, so it looks like we have more material before the crook, so I don't have to worry so much about piercing through to the other side. Let's gauge our depth. That is nothing. Let's get in there. Keep going. Really push this home. It's hard to get purchase on this because of the claws that I attached earlier. How much depth do we have there? That's a good amount of depth. Let me go one more round of pushing. All right, that feels pretty nice. Where is our paper clip? So we're gonna take our clippy. Let's get a new piece of pen here. That looks like a good size. And set that home. And really push it in there. Come on, Meow. Need you to not pop out, you bitch. It seemed like it was deeper than it is. I guess that's about right. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing here that we did last time. I'm just gonna ride that hole and let the divot guide the drill bit. And we're gonna go. I actually wonder if I have a drill bit small enough on my power drill. I don't think I do, so we're gonna have to manually work this thing, though I am much better able to get good purchase on this for my grip. All right. How deep are we? Oh yeah, we're in there. We're in there this time. Let's see if that's enough. Damn it. If we smash these two ends together, just give it a good push. Let go. Something's blocking it. I think the hole's just full of metal. Yeah, I think I smushed some shavings in it. Maybe we got it out that time. Let's cram our pin in there. Yeah, that feels pretty fucking good. Very firm fit. And then this should just about there. Okay. Let's do a few more turns here, since it's a little easier to get some grip, and we want to really bury that damn pin in there. Get that. I just hit a kind of soft point in the alloy. All right, so do we still have some of that super thin? We have a little bit there, maybe. Just trying to avoid that right there. Press that in there. Let's get our super glue. We're gonna coat that blob. We're gonna fill this hole right here. And press this arm home. Yeah, that sunk in really, really nicely. Hold this for just long enough till it sets. Yes, sir. And now let's pop it with a little bit of that. Excelente. Now I think we should probably I was thinking we should probably pin the body to the legs, but you know, I bet you we could get away with the scoring technique on this too. Let's clean that up right there. I definitely think we could get away with scoring this. They didn't give us much of a... They give us a key, but not a peg. She's some really nice and textured scoring lines here. Okay, and then we'll do the same. Well, let's clean this up first. And then we'll score it. Clean those legs up. Man, they're very clever on this design here. They got those mold lines really well hidden on this sharp edge. That one's a little off center. But this one's pretty much dead on. Really nicely hidden. I gotta say, there's really something to expertly molded minis versus like the way that Catalyst does. As far as like surface detail quality. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and put this tool away. Shit. Get our bits put away. Let's clean the surface a little bit for our filming. We're going to go back to filming. We're going to sand the feet of this model with a sanding drum. There they are. Get out the bits. Let's get a nice coarse sanding drum here. Pull that out some. Let's do another round. I really hope that this fucking battery is charged enough, because I want to move on with this project. I did tease that we'd be painting Power Man, and well, it's been largely fucking with this forestry mech. But we will paint Power Man. Power Man will be painted. Let's get our camera set up again. Camera set up. Boom. This is all for a short. Find that very funny. All this effort for what, a max 3 minutes? I think they let you go up to. So we got this guy here. Beats are doing pretty good. We'll show the Dremel to the camera again. Show our sanding drum. We'll get it going. And we'll sand these nice and smooth. It's getting very warm very fast. I'm exaggerating for the camera. Hit it with a little bit of water. Whew, that is hot. Let's cool it off again. I still see a little bit of the base shape here, so it's got to be brought down just a bit more, but we're so close. Thank you, battery charger. All right. Okay, sick. I think we maybe even show cleaning the desk real quick. And we're gonna get out our base. Our nice little base here, and we're going to get our file. We'll show it to the camera. We're going to find the rough spot. Get those nice and filed down. So you ka-chow. Ka-chow. Who's it that does pa-chow? It's Adam from Tabletop Minions. Uncle Adam. Set this right there in the middle. We're going to remove the excess super glue. The trick with removing it with paper towel is to go very quickly. There we go. We're going to bring out our BSI. We're going to insta-set it in. Bing bong. And then I think we're going to show to the camera the whole, the surface scratch technique. We're gonna blob some glue on it, like a good amount. And we're gonna press this boy home. Hold it. Get our Insta set, open it one-handed, and dribble dabble. Okay. I think we are in a good state. All right, that's plenty of footage for the short tonight too. What was that sound? It's like a creaking noise. Oh. Like an old creaky door opening up. Which doesn't make any sense. Alright, so from here, I think we want to use our Metal Primer R, Mr. Metal Primer, which I don't think they make anymore. A good alternative would be VMS Metal Prep. But we're gonna get out a fresh one of these things. It's got right, y'all. I'm gonna take this. This is basically, as far as I can tell, is more or less like a clear nail polish almost. I thought it was an etching primer, but I don't think it is an etching primer. It leaves like a surfacing to it. Which is brush. We use this big fat number 4, and we're just gonna start putting this shit all over our metal mini. And my experience with this stuff has been really good. I used it on those Orloff Grenadier models. They still chip on the sharpest edges. So that is the bad news. But it is only the sharpest edges that have chipped. And they have lived in a foam case, which has caused the chipping. So I'd wager if you prepare your Ironwind metals with a metal prep chemical before doing your regular primer, and keep them in like magnetic storage or in like a display case, you should be able to handle freely your minis without any fear of any kind of chipping. Stuff is really, really good. Unfortunately, I don't think they sell it anymore. I've looked around to try and find it re-upped, and nobody has it. Plus, I heard that Mr. Hobby got in some kind of legal issue with Canada about their labeling. And that is furthered by my own anecdotal experience with writing them to request a material data safety sheet, to which they never responded. So you know they're required to give out these data safety sheets, but when you go to the website to find it, they're like, "Oh, you got to write us for it," and then they just don't send it. Yeah, that seems fishy. Like maybe they're hiding something. I have noticed too that their labels are different now. They have a new label taped over the old label on my new bottle of cement. Okay. I think we've got all the surfaces. It's hard to tell because it's clear over metal, but once that sets, we can go in with a primer. And, you know, we're going to be working on this in the 2 Powerman models, which is fine, because the third model is actually supposed to be a different color. So when we swap to working on that, it'll be its own deal. I don't know if we'll stream that or not. Maybe. These 3 are supposed to be in standard construction mech yellow, generic industrial, and we're going to get to cheat on those and use Imperial Fist contrast paint, which I'm really looking forward to. I love that color. It's it's super good. It's a really good contrast color. Okay. Holy moly. Look at all this chat. So I'll have you guys know that I've been talking this whole time, and I just thought that chat was dead. And how far back were we? The last message I had on my screen would be the industry easy way to say it. So welcome, Poltergeist. I do not mean to ignore you. So we have the claw version here, as requested. The gun is a separate bit, unfortunately. So I think I could potentially locate a body for this, or maybe even sculpt it. I don't know yet. And then you have this extra bit for the deal. But as requested, we went for the claw variant. And he has been set with Mr. Primer, Mr. Metal Primer. So we're just about ready to hit this with a prime coat. He's pinned in position, so it should be a nice strong bond, and he should be very handleable. We got the double Power Man. We got the laser version and the crane, the hauler mech version, and then unfortunately our raider's really fucking tiny, and that is really sad, super sad. Raider's really tiny. It needs to be upscaled, so we're gonna upscale this a bit and dive in next time. I would say Friday, but I'm going to a I'm going to a Thanksgiving thing with a friend of mine. But yeah, we're gonna get this guy scaled correctly, because look at, he's supposed to be 50 tons and he's like smaller than the 35-ton Power Man. Well, howdy, welcome Mr. Solomon Sampson 747. Hope you're doing well. We are kind of trying to kill time at the moment and get this thing to dry. In fact, I should probably hop up and fill my coffee. That might be a good way to kill a little bit of time here. Just need a moment longer, and then we're going to pop these in our little spray booth. We're going to hit these with a white prime, and then we're going to start in with our contrast yellow. Should be really good. Should go super smooth. These guys, really straightforward painting. I think what we're going to do is try to strike a nice balance between the yellow color and weathering. Like, I don't want to weather them to the extreme, but I do want them to look like construction mechs. I'll get these done as quickly as possible. Yeah, body with the gun is ideal, but it could be another time. I still need one with the claw too. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Poltergeist. Let me pull this thing up. I got a proposal for you. Yeah, I guess it wasn't clear. I should have specified in the message when I said both. It's not both bodies, but both arm options. But that said, let me pull up the let me pull up this image here for you. Why can't I scroll here? Come on, let me scroll, please. Please, website, respond to my clicking. Why won't you let me scroll? Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see if I can just search for it, because I cannot... the Ragic website is not functioning on the mobile device. Here we go. I'll tell you what. If this works for you, I will add one of these cross-cut models to my next print. And it looks like the details are pretty on par with this other model. I don't know if those are coming through. And we'll just add one of those to it with the cannon arm. No extra charge. I'll send some better pictures through Fiverr if you want to check them out. But they're pretty much dead on. The hips are a little bigger. Would say the saw's bigger, but it's really about the same size. But yeah, we can just toss that in there if you like. Iron Element says, howdy, goddamn, I'm late. Was doing some cleaning, organizing, completely lost track of time. Oh, those look neat. Thank you. You're too kind. Yeah, I think it's a better solution than trying to just like do something with this. So that way you'll end up with the nice metal one, but then we'll toss that extra one in. I'll print that out on the next round, and then because our Raider's got to be upscaled. I mean, look at that size difference. This is supposed to be a big boy, so I think I'm actually gonna not jumbo size this, but I want this to be closer in line to like a Catalyst Mini. Like, he needs to be kind of the size of this Uziel, for instance. So really big upscale on that. I did not catch that he was so small before printing. All right, I'm gonna hop up for just a second and fill my coffee, and then this still is, it's a little tacky, but like the legs are cured. This section right here is still a little tacky. I think we went a little heavy on it. So I think in the time it takes me to down this and then fill it again, we should be ready to start priming, and we're gonna hit these with some white primer, and we can get stuck in with the contrast paint. So yeah, let's get that going. Let's get this adjusted as well. I was gonna say that's some weird sounds from outside, but it's just somebody's really bad music. All right, let's hit the BRB screen and I'll BRB. Camera knocked it out of position. OZ, y'all great. 55 tonner. Funny, and Catalyst is really releasing stupid bird. He'll climb Mechs, but no Uziel, no Fafnir, no goddamn champion. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh, and this one's gonna go up on the eBay store when I finally get around to finishing it. This is somebody did a really nice conversion here. This is actually Jacob Kincaid's Uziel, and they modeled it well. It's got the Wolf's Dragoon symbol, Black Widows, and 33 on it, and then they've done the rack 5s in the arms. So be a real fun paint job. I'll toss this up there, and if any of y'all, whenever I get this done and posted, if any of y'all are interested, keep an eye out for it, and do not hesitate to send an offer. If ever you see something on eBay that's been painted by me that you're interested in, send an offer. I will accept most offers. Poop, pee-pee, farts, poop and pee and pee-pee, farts. Yes. Hello, Mr. Nathan. Hey, what do you guys think of the 4-camera setup now with the new desk cam? Is it too much? I was thinking about adding a 5th camera, to be honest. Something from like up here would be really cool. All right. I still really like the idea of the head cam, if I could make it happen. Poltergeist says next faction pack said they're gonna do a couple Steiner packs, including Fafnir, Hollander, and Uziel. Yeah, I'd like to see it. It's 5 cameras from where I'm at. Oh yeah, subscribe to Country Fried OnlyFans if you want to see the under the desk camera. You'll never guess what's under my apron. Excuse me. It's my mech balls, by the way. That's what it is. We need to get this thing cleaned up and attached, I think. I actually don't know if we need to attach it yet. We maybe need to paint these separate. Let's see. Do we have an extra base floating around here to stick this to? Yeah, I think we gotta paint this model first, fully, and then we'll glue this on there at the end. That side is looking a little rough, though. Let's trim it down. Fuck, I almost think it might be better just scrape that clean. Yeah, we're just gonna scrape it clean, and then we're gonna score in the doors, because that has held on to so much blobbiness. So I'm gonna get that set up, and then we're just gonna notch it. Get a nice little V notch to kind of suggest the separation there. Notch it down. There we go. I think that'll read. Maybe need to make it just a little bit chunkier. I think that'll read. I hope so, at least. Maybe we could run the edge of this filer through it. It's a little off center. We fucked that one up. I was thinking it was a thick goblin. What's a thick goblin? You mean like holiday goblin? This lady? She lives up on my desk. Yes, we like thick goblins. Generally, arts of thick goblins. Alright, let's try again. Let's try again and get this blobby side kind of fixed up. Oh, you know what? I know what'll work for this. I know exactly what'll work for this. We'll use some brass wire, and we'll put those damn whatever you call those bars that make the door operate back on. Yeah. This feels like fucking scale modeling shit right here. That's way too much glue. I have managed to glue this to my tweezers. And now my fingers. Awesome. Alright, there's one. Let's get that other one on there too. Just a little bit of glue on there. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of glue. You know what I mean? Just a tiny bit of glue. There we go. And now let's set that. We'll set that on there. There we fucking go. Alright. And now we'll snip those free. On both sides. There we go. Where's our hobby knife? That was a terrible idea just now. That was a really terrible idea just now. Uh-oh. That end was not bent down correctly. I think maybe you just dip them with that right there. Shit fire. I just need them to be nice and flush, you know? There we go. Alright. So we got our box done up. That'll look alright. It's the Dremel. It was a fucking Dremel. Making noise. Alright, so there's a tiniest bit of tackiness on these. I think by the time we prime these two mechs that this thing should be ready. Let's do a little bit of surface management here. Put some of these tools away. You can go up here. You can go here. Yeah. All right. Let's get our respirator on, which is right here. All right. So. Get our primer going. Little spray boot going. This needs to be glued down. Not that one. Where's that other one? There it is. This needs a temporary base. This will work. Okay, so I want the smallest bit of glue on this to adhere it to the base. Get that going. Get it set up. We'll do some gloves. All right, what do you? How much y'all bet
that my airbrush doesn't work. Let's see. Yep, it's completely fucking clogged. Damn it. $6 million turn. So I know I've discussed this before, but honestly, the worst part of this airbrush is that I keep using this needle with the ball on the end, and because of that, I have to pull it out of the machine like this. So every time you pull it out this way, it pulls paint into this part right here. So this thing gets clogged up every time you use the fucking thing. Every single time. So let's do a little acetone in there. Get a little acetone going on. A little bit of acetone. Now we're just going to use the needle as a tool to push the gunk through there. Yeah. And I should have a cleaning tool here somewhere. Like, how are you actually meant to clean this fucking thing out? You know what I mean? I'd stuck it to a stick. I'd have stuck it to a stick. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I just didn't have anything like suitably ready to roll on hand. Like, how am I actually supposed to clean this thing out? You know what I mean? I don't understand. Somebody with a very small penis just drove by in their muscle car. I do appreciate that he took the time to let us know that he is the captain of the Tiny Wiener Patrol. Alright, let's see if we can't get some of this fucking gunk out of there. It is an awful, like, amalgamation of colors. This very gray goop. Okay. As long as we can get... It sucks too, because, like, this doesn't actually affect the performance of the machine. It just affects the ability to put the fucking thing together. So let's get that reassembled. Where's my tweezers? Stupid. All right. Put this bad boy back together. Motherfucker. Just kind of stay where I put you, dog. Alright. seems okay. And then I like it cranked all the way down. Let's see if we can slide this bad boy through there. Let's clean the tip actually first. You're probably not supposed to take the needle out at all. You can't clean it without taking the needle out. Because you got to clean inside the needle receptacle. If you don't take the needle out, then the whole thing seizes up. And you know, even with the like 10 minute cleaning session, I do not for the life of me understand how people even begin to get it clean. Like, are you going in there with a pick and tweezers and removing every like microscopic speck of fucking paint? Because if you're not, I don't see how you're getting it clean. Okay. See, as long as it gets through this thing, it doesn't affect it at all. It's gunked up inside there because of the way you pull it through. I did prepare my other needle and remove the bulb so I could pull it out the front. But I, for some reason, don't use that needle. Okay, give me a second, y'all. My hair is annoying the fuck out of me. My neighbor is cooking chitlins today. All right. Yeah. What's this? Okay. Oh, it smells so fucking awful. I don't know who the hell thinks, ooh, I know what I'm going to eat today. Pig colon. So fucking gross. Where is our focus right now on the camera? It's bad, isn't it? Why did it do that? Why did it zoom in like that? Is it going to break? I opened the application to do the controls and it's overriding the settings when I do it. There we go. Where's our focus at? There we go. Okay, so let's do my normal technique here. So we're going to set these models up. We're just going to do some gentle spritzing. There we go. Now we want to keep this really light, and the idea is if we keep it nice and light, then it'll basically be dry already, and we can build up the we can build it up slowly rather than diving in all at once. This guy's got a support that needs to be removed, so let's do that. Let's do that. And we're just going to go round and round till we have decent coverage. I'll alternate from working the front to working the sides over here. And now we'll start on this side. And that side. On this side. And now we can start on the backs. Hickory smoked horse buttholes in a cup. Oh, dude, it smells so fucking bad. And I don't know why. It might have to do with the fact that my unit is the last one on the row, but there's a significant gap underneath my door. So anytime the neighbor is cooking something that smells intense, it permeates. Alright, just going to continue with our new bottle of Stynylrez. So far, this stuff does not seem to have little clots in it, which is very nice. This is a new set, a new batch of primers from the ones last time. Get that going, and now we'll do this side. All right, we'll do the backs again. That is maybe a little too wet. Well, we'll try to get these from top down now. Went up, down. All right, so now we want to try and hit them from underneath. Make sure everything's nice and coated. Nice white prime job for the contrast paints. We do need them very solidly coated. Since we're going to do the yellow with contrast, it needs to be very oh shit. It needs to be very even coating. We have a problem here. It needs to be trimmed down. Not sure what's going on there. I think maybe the metal primer built up a little thick there. Maybe unlike Apple Barrel, the fancier stuff really does have a shelf life. I think the last batch just sat in a an Amazon warehouse for so long that it developed that when it separated fully out, some of it was like completely cured in there, and I ended up with these tiny little particles of completely cured paint that would never mix back in no matter how much stirring I gave it. It's funny, it almost seems like all these hobby products maybe do need an expiration date listed on them. Okay. Alright, one more pass of white, just so we get a nice solid coat. Alright, and now we're going to flush this system. Where's my little spray doohickey? Spray bottle. You got to keep them in a paint fridge. Yeah, exactly. Cementation. Ah, yes. Emphasis on cement. Keep them in the paint fridge. I agree. I agree. A paint fridge is in order. Well, actually, not really. See, I have a paint shelf instead of a paint fridge. And, it seems to work pretty well. Tell you the truth. All right. Let's cut this thing off. This should be able to sit right there.
Okay, move this. Let's get these lads off. Oh, damn it. I'm definitely ruining this thingamabob. This thing. Let's clean that a bit with alcohol. It's not like I keep it plugged in. Oh yeah, it's just a convenient storage rack. So what you're saying is a hermetically sealed box would also serve as paint fridge. I have an idea for another short too. When we print out the properly scaled one of these, we'll set it up next to the other one and then smash this with a hammer after hitting it with a ton of super glue. Or anything in the basement you're not using. I don't think anything works there. Like, you definitely don't want to keep your paints in your coal hole. Seems like a good way to have the kobolds steal them from you. You know what I mean? Seems like a bad idea. Okay. These seem pretty dry. I see a few little spots of surface scarring that we maybe need to clean up and reprime. And in fact, we're going to. We need to do this right. Check out that fucking exposure there on the white. If I bring this down, can you guys actually see what's going on? Almost. So there's a few little nubbins here, and unfortunately, now that I see them, they got to get removed, which means we're gonna have to reprime. But that's fine. I'm okay doing a second layer. I'm perfectly fine with that. We just need this to be not egregious. Because I don't know how much weathering these guys are going to get. I know they're going to get some, but it's not, they're not going to be like completely coated with rust, you know what I mean? So, I want to ensure that we get as much of this scarring off as possible. I can't believe I didn't see it before. But you know, it's hard to see when it's just gray. So maybe there's something to integrating this as part of the process. Like hit them with a little primer coat so you can see the little nubbins, and then come in and remove them. Yeah, that looks way better. I mean, we have these ugly spots that need to be primed back over, but it's no different from removing mold lines. Also gives us a moment to remove any dust that got picked up onto them. Like, look, there's some shit we missed right there on the foot. Let's see this one here. My kobolds are busy making OnlyFans content. Ooh, sexy kobolds. Probably also shouldn't keep your paint in the hornet nest either. You might not be using it, but they sure are. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Plus, what happens if the hornets get angry and sting the primer can? You know what I mean? All of a sudden you have chrome hornets that are high on spray paint. That ain't a good time. Not even a little bit. All right. Man, it's so funny. If this was, I gotta admit, y'all, if this was a quick buck turnaround for eBay, I probably wouldn't be putting this much effort into removal. But because it's a custom commission, I want these things looking as mint as possible. Plus, some of these are actually really egregious. I take that back. I'd probably do the same thing, even if this is for an eBay order. I can't believe I missed some of these. Okay, that looks decent. Let's do one more pass of our white. I'm gonna have to... This fucking light being in the way, dude. Get out of the way, you fucker. Alright. Let's set it back up. Let's set it back up. Let's set this back up. Let's set this back up. Let's set this back up. Let's grab this and turn this back around again. So we have lighting. And let's just fucking go.
Back on the PPPP.
Getting lost. You know, it might help to turn the fucking compressor on. What the fuck is wrong with this now? There we go. This should be good. Let's shoot some acetone through the brush. Nuh-uh. Crunch can't go crunch. M&M's. I didn't want to do the thing. We didn't want to do the thing. I always want to do the thing. Alright, let's put a little water through this. Alright, back to what we were trying to do before. Gotta work around the things, you know, work around the things to work around the things. Alright. There are thin spots in the primer, but I don't think it's enough to matter.
All right. Pinar M&Ms. Pinars. Thank you. Thank you, Light. Thank you. Fucking Jesus Christ. Can I move without bumping into 12 things? I think the answer there is actually no. Unfortunately. I really need a step in between these two. That and that. Needs a step in between. Okay. So from here, we want to start working with contrast paint. And I need to pick one of these tubes to be the least invasive on our color. And actually, I think we're just going to clean this thing out. Where's my mouse? Holy shit. Focus all the way down to the desk, please. Please focus on the desk. Please focus on the desk. We're gonna hit that with a little acetone. Let it sit in there, out of focus. Let it really saturate for a second. And then we're gonna give it some love. So some kind of contrast paint or yeah, it looks like a contrast tone. I think this was Nadstrag yellow, judging by the yellowish tannish tone. And that's okay, because we can actually, even if a little bit of this stuff pollutes our paint, because it's like a yellowish tone, it should be fine. It should be fine. All right, get in there and clean it up. All right, now let's get our Imperial Fist going on. Dude, this camera sensor is also like has no idea what to do with this color. That's funny. Can I bring down the saturation maybe? Would that help? If we like desaturate it some? Maybe. Seems okay. That's actually almost closer to real color here. Let's get skip that ad. You know, every time one of those ads play, I make like a penny off of each of y'all. So yeah. I'm not saying I support the ads. I still think they're fucking heinous. Get Oni Lab going on, and I think we're going to use up what's left of this old bottle today. Man, when's the last time we busted out Oni Lab? She's in really rough shape, very splattered up. She's a working mound. All right, so let's finish this bottle off, and then we're going to put a little bit out of this one in there too. It's actually only my first bottle of this stuff I've run through. Let's use this brush maybe. Is a little crusty. I'm gonna unlock those bristles. Unlock those bristles with a little bit of acetone. Looks like there was some gray in it. Maybe like a light gray tone. Paper towel me. Okay, so since these got a second coat of primer, we're going to dig in on the forestry mech first, I think. And we're just gonna hit it literally all over. Want to work swift. The trick with this contrast paint is to move it around. You want to be wiggling that wet edge. You don't want it to set up any tide marks. So you want to be decisive and very efficient about where you're placing it. And you want like a pretty wet amount at all times. It's really good for like surface staining as well, but like you don't get the full effect of the contrast without it doing a small amount of pooling. So you want a little bit of it, a little bit of pooling, not too much. You don't want to glob it on, but you do want enough to build the contrast effect. It's not just a translucent paint. It's a translucent paint with a really nice surface staining property, but it's also, you know, kind of changes color a little bit in the recesses. And you need both of those properties present on the Mini. And we're just going to work quickly. Make sure we get the contrast effect in the crevices. We don't really want too much of it built up on a surface. And I think if you can, whenever you're working with this stuff, if you can keep that in mind, you'll get really good results. It really is kind of the miracle product that GW advertised it as if you use it correctly. Obviously there's some other steps you need to do. You can't do it all with this, but you can do a lot of it. It'll do a ton of the heavy lifting. And if you combine it with some other effects, oh boy, it starts to really, really shine. My Comstar Mechs, you guys have seen the Tukid video from 2 years ago now, I think. It's they're just basically contrast paint and then all the sponge chipping and stuff over top. Okay. Now, another trick here, we want to make sure that we really want to make sure it's fully coated now, because if you have to go back in and do corrections, it's not going to look the same. So while you're working that wet edge, you want to make sure it all stays very something. I lost my train of thought there. Work swift, feel swift. Is that a trucking thing? Like the Swift trucks? Dude, construction mech yellow. I have been dying to do some mechs in construction yellow, tell you the truth. That was kind of the whole motivation behind that set of Pleiades Lancers I did. Okay, I see a few spots we missed on the primer, unfortunately, which really sucks. It just means that when we go back in and do the weathering, we need to pick those spots specifically. It's not a problem. Now, if we weren't going for a weathered look, we'd need to stop and reevaluate and maybe fill those gaps in the primer coat. Okay. All right. So another thing here that I see happening on the back of this is sometimes this stuff wants to form a meniscus, and we want that to not happen. So again, keep it moving. Work the wet edge. Don't let it pool on the flat surfaces, but do let it pool in the gaps. And it looks like I put out way too much of this stuff. Okay, here we go. Nightbot popping. Thank you, Nightbot, for the popping. All right. Sick. These are gonna need to dry. Gonna need to dry a bit. Where are we sitting at? 3 hours? I don't want to just end this stream. I'm having too much fun. Should we pivot and do some miscellaneous tasks while these dry? It's kind of what I'm thinking. Kind of what I'm thinking here. Yeah, let's let these set and do their thing and cure up. And, oh, look, the camera froze. How long has that been frozen? Holy shit. Dude, you dickhead camera. Camera stuck again. Fucking, that's garbage. That's actual garbage. And it sucks because, like, I think I've been largely happy with that camera, but if it's gonna do this, like, regularly, that's a fucking problem. That's a problem. Did that freeze on the second model? Alright. Okay, those have to dry. Unfortunately, it's contrast paint, and there's only 3 of them, so we don't have enough time to juggle models in between. So we're going to zip over to the workstation, and we're going to switch to a miscellaneous project-related task, and then we'll be back to painting when these are dried out. So I'm going to hit the BRB screen and switch to the other machine.
Would you do a workout?
I do.
Give me 10.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
Bink. Bunk. Let's mute that. Turn this fan to face me. All right, what are we doing now? I know that this like strand of hair right here that's just like touching my forehead is driving me fucking bonkers. Okay. All right, so what are we doing now? We are digging up the Raider. Let's get in here and dig up our Raider and get that going. Not the Raider, the crosscut, excuse me. The forestry mech. I don't know if it's called crosscut or forestry mech. That's ridiculous that it's not here. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think it's not that one. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Nope. It's this one. This one right here. God, that's running like garbage. Download model. I do not want to sign in. That's fucking stupid. I really do not want to sign in here. Yay, another company to force me to receive spam. Yep, have to allow them to access my info. I don't accept this, but I'm forced to accept it to download. Download model. Download model. Click button. Jesus Christ. All right. Why is this not the download button? Why is that not the download button? All right, these are all trash formats. These are all trash formats. Oh my God. Zips inside of zips. Which one of these do I get? Which one of these is usable? I don't think any of these are usable. GLB maybe? Fucking stupid. All right. Can I delete my account? Settings. Account. Delete account. Yes. Suck my butt. I never wanted to sign up for your shitty service. Fucking, you should let me download without signing up to steal my data. Okay, so we now have, what was that format? It was a weird format. Let's open up Blender. Blender. Oh, you know what? I need desk toy. Pop on desk toy. We're gonna open recent. This one. There's the legs. There's the body. Let's get this in position. We need to size these things properly now. And then we need to get the forestry mech in here and try to size it based on our Powerman legs. So forestry mech needs to be a little taller than that thing. So let's import that new thing, this thing. Why can't I drag drop? Why can't I drag drop that? That's really lame. How do I turn this into an actual usable fucking model? Holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ. All right, let's select this thing. I can do that here too. I just need to boom, file, export as STL. Sketch fab is sketch. Export STL, and then we delete this, and then we refresh this, and we re-import it. There we go. Oh, you know what? I bet these have like unusable, horrible internal geometry. This is going to turn into another 10-hour project of Booleaning parts together. All right. Who the fuck makes mechs in Sketchfab? That's stupid. Holy moly. And of course you can't drag and drop it. So I gotta do it this way. What about the FBX version? What about the FBX? Is that any better? It's fucking nested files. Holy shit. FBX. FBX, is this any better? Error. No, it doesn't work. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. All right. So, to share, this is basically what I spent the entirety of yesterday doing. Was fixing the Raider because the artist who did it did not make a proper and usable mesh. They ended up just like, you know, sticking all the parts together and not booleaning anything. So I think in this case we're gonna get rid of all of that. Bow. And then can we convert this to... Isn't there a way to convert? Convert? No. Boy. All right, let's research how to convert Sketchfab model into STL into Mesh Blender. I don't want to import. That's not what I searched for. Look, how to convert, how to import. Google is so fucking useless. I want... How do I convert a Sketchfab model into a mesh inside of Blender? Google won't fucking search for this. I hope you fucking can. This is incorrect. Incorrect. You're wrong, ChatGPT. You're wrong. You're fucking wrong. See, because this is a Sketchfab model, not a not a proper fucking mesh. Incorrect. You're full of shit. All right, so it does look like at least the body convert to mesh. There we go. I think I have to do it one piece at a time then. All right. Let's see here. Holy shit. This is like... Why has it got to be so difficult? Let's delete that. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to start Boolean smashing things together. Like that. Apply. All right, and now we're going to Boolean union to this. Bow, like that. Yep. And we're going to apply that. And now we want to delete the extraneous bits as we go. Let's make sure there's no like fucked up internal geometry, which there is, so here we go. We gotta go part by part by part by part and Boolean these together. So the thing is, if we don't do this, what happens is you go to print it, and the software, the printing software, is going to okay. Well, I can see already that this is broken. This is 10 hours. This is gonna take 10 fucking hours to convert to usability. So we're gonna pivot to something else, because that's 10 hours of work right there. It's literally all day to do that. Where's my fucking phone? my phone? Where the fuck is my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Let's do something else because that is, I'm not even exaggerating, that's 10 hours of work to make that fucking piece of shit work. Where is this? All right, we're going to create no worries, Mr. Nate. As soon as this stream is over, I'm gonna work all night fixing it. Okay. It's interesting to note that there's the ease of access of 3D modeling. Like anyone can do it. So there's a lot of models out there that are like they're really bad. They're really bad. You got to fix so much shit. It's wild to me because I know I started in 3D modeling by just smashing booleans together myself, and that was really bad stuff, really bad for the community. And now that I've learned some stuff about it, I can absolutely I can see problems. I can see where people do weird, fucked up stuff. And like, it looks cool. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it looks awesome. They did a great job modeling it, but it's not gonna work for an STL. It needs to be converted to a mesh. It needs to be smashed together. It needs the internal geometry removed. So in the meantime, while we let those other things dry, let's go ahead and put together tonight's short. So let's open Enamel Walk. Thank you for clicking away right as I went to click on the thing, computer. We're gonna save as. I'm gonna save as Forestry Mech. All right. Okay, so anytime I make a new one of these shorts, I tend to open up the old one. And what we'll do is we'll come in here and we'll get rid of the stuff we don't necessarily need, like that. Boom, we'll get rid of that. We will rename this right here to be crosscut, maybe. We'll delete that. We'll delete that. And that, and that. And then we're gonna open this thing up. Bam. Boom, we'll get rid of that. And then we're gonna toss all of these highlighted files into our project panel. Boom. And let's see what we can cut down here. Let's get rid of all that. Ba-bam. This footage is awful here. It's so blown out. You know, I'm wondering if we could get more than one clip out of this thing. That's all real slow right there, though. Do we just speed it up, maybe? Oh, man. I'll tell y'all what, though. I'll tell you what. This whole situation has my, like, ADD hella fucking all over the place. I'm really struggling to focus on any one task. So, okay. With that upset in mind, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away from the stream at this point, but here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. I was going to stream again on Friday. I think we're going to come back Saturday. We're going to come back Saturday. We're going to finish these projects. I was supposed to meet a buddy of mine, but I really want to get these mechs done. What we're going to do in the meantime today, the rest of my day today, is going to be spent fixing those files. So I'm going to dig in for another 10-hour Blender day of fixing models. We're going to get the Raider scaled up, get that blown up. We're going to get that reprinted. We're going to get the forestry mech done and turned into usable mesh. And then get that printed, and we'll get these things going. We'll come back Saturday. Maybe tomorrow evening. Not really sure. Not really sure what we're gonna do with it. I really want to get some stuff done here and then go back to painting, but like my mind, it's hard to describe. My mind's going in 15 different directions, but because I've hit this resistance with this forestry mech in loading this in now, my mind is honing in on that like a razor sharp focus. So I'm gonna pour into that. I'm gonna work through that this evening. My apologies for making this such a abrupt cut to the stream, but like I got to get this done. It's part of the process. So we're gonna get that done, get those printed out, and I'll see y'all guys Saturday-ish. We'll dive back in. We'll get these done. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna snag some lunch. And then I'm going to pop over to the Country Fried Minis Discord if any of y'all are around and want to chat while I dig in on Blender for probably the next 5 to 7 hours to fix this file. In any case, again, sorry for that abrupt ending, but that's where we're going to go with it. Lots of love. Fucking huge thanks for the people coming out and checking out the stream today. It really feels good to have some folks back in here to chat. Because either way, I'm doing work. I'm getting shit done. But like, if you folks are here seeing this, wanting to watch it, the streams will continue. And we got some fun shit planned for the rest of the year and going into 2026 right here on Countrified Minis. So, yeah, that's all I got. So thank y'all. And catch you on the next one. See you next time. If I could find the thing. There it is. Bye-bye.